Hey guys, and welcome. My name's NG Paradox, and we're here with the Romans, Bath City, in the Vanarama National League. I almost can't believe it. The last two seasons, we were very successful, and we managed to do an underdog performance in the playoffs. I still almost can't believe we're actually here in the Vanarama National League, but I'm so happy to see Bath get into this league. Obviously, the highest position this team has ever been in has been in this league. So if we one day get promoted from this league, that will be the most successful this club has ever been in its entire history. So this is a big thing. Now, this is kind of the height that Bath has ever been in this league. So hopefully we can do a good job. I've not got my hopes too high because, we didn't do great at the end of the season last time. And there's a lot of good teams in here. And a lot of these teams are professional. We're still just a semi-professional club. So we do have a massive weakness in that area. This will be the first episode in this season. Obviously, it is now the 11th of August. We're going to go over a few things. Go over transfers, go over maybe the plan for this season, and maybe some transfer targets. I've not done much in the transfer market at the moment because there are a few players I'm just trying to work into getting. And as usual, it's always hard for our team to bring players in just because of the fact that we are, part-time. And actually, there's a couple of other problems that happened which really frustrated me. But we'll talk about that later. This is the preview for this season. So in the Vanarama National League, as you can see, Forest Green are the favourites in the league this year. Pretty good team. They always do very well in the league usually. I've spoken about them before. Obviously, in real life, they did actually get promoted. I think it was this season. Lincoln, of course, Tranmere, some pretty, some big names there. Boreham Wood, the team that we got promoted with last season, is actually predicted to come sixth. So either they've done lots of work, or they just were that good. Let's have a quick look at their transfers. Okay, they've done quite a bit of work here. Got a few players in, a few players out, but apparently they're pretty high up. And we didn't do too badly compared to them. Remember, for a lot of the season, we were not that far behind them. And in fact, we were really close to them kind of halfway through the season. So maybe that's a good sign for us. You've got Dag and Red have been relegated from League 2. Same with Eastleigh. They both got relegated, sadly. They're now back into this league. Think they both went up and down. Yeah, so it looks like they went up and they went down the next season, so maybe that's good for us. That means obviously they weren't good enough for the top, but they got promoted last time. It's not like a team that started off in League 2, maybe. I think Dag and Red is the same. Yeah, they both went up and went straight back down. Other than that, you got the normal suspects, a lot of the teams you normally expect to be in the Vanarama National League. Salford got promoted from the North League, and so did Boston United. We are predicted to come last. That's not good. 4 teams in this league get relegated. So you've got to come above 21st. It's so easy to fall out of this league and so difficult to get promoted. Only the first team gets promoted automatically. The other 4 teams then play in a playoff, very similar to the league we were in the last year. But if you can get promoted, you go into the proper English league football. That is a very big moment for any team. It means you can I think you have to go professional. So getting promoted is going to be really important for us if we want to try and get to go professional, which is really important to kind of entice players in. So getting promoted out of this league is a massive statement by any club. It's going to be a tough task. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try. I will damn well try. I really have enjoyed playing with this team. So let's have a quick look at what we've been doing so far in the transfers of the season. You see here, not much has been going on. Not much has gone on because I'll talk about why in a second. First off, let's go at the people that have left. Tom Smart has left the club. He was back up for left back and he wanted more first team football. I couldn't give it to him. Dan Ball is our captain. Dan Ball has been with the team for quite a while and he's just a good player. He's just better than Tom Smart in almost every way. So I couldn't give it to him, so he decided to leave, which is a shame. He was good for backup. I could always rely on him to come on the pitch if needed, but definitely was not a first-team left back. Other than that, obviously, as well, Andy Watkins has left the club. I know it's a sad thing to see him go, but you can see here his stats, you know, look at his physicals. They've gone down a little bit, you know, he could probably still play on, but we've just got lots of players who can play winger at the moment, and we need better strikers. He did really well, you can see on the history, you know, 14 goals that first season, 17 assists. That was insane. The next season he got 8 goals, but I think he got more goals also in the league. Not the league, sorry, the cup competitions as well. So it wasn't too bad for him overall, but he obviously was past it. I did want to offer him a place on my staff. I really did want to keep him at the club in any shape or form. But sadly, you can see here, he's not that good when it comes to the staff numbers. I did try to bring him in just as a scout, because I thought, okay, who cares? He may not be that good, but I want him here. So I tried to offer him a position as a scout, but he demands way too much money. We can't afford him, basically, which is absolutely ridiculous because he's not that good at scouting. So, c'est la vie, Andy Watkins has gone, but he will never be forgotten. Since then, we needed to bring in quite a few players. In particular, I wanted to bring in goalkeepers and strikers. Those are the 2 main positions we really needed to bring some players in. We had to. And that's exactly what we've got so far. We brought in 2 players. We brought in Junior Morias. He's here on loan from Peterborough. He is meant to be pretty good. In my eyes, he looks kind of like a little bit better than Lowe. He looks like a slightly better version of Lowe, as you can see here. Very good in most areas. Not the best finishing or composure, or heading actually, but in a lot of areas he's pretty good. I'm hoping he's going to be our main striker. At the moment he will be. We'll see how things go with him. I also brought in Callum Kitschka as a goalkeeper. Now, he's not the greatest goalkeeper. He's obviously not as good as Yusuf from last season. And I'm going to have to talk about that in a second. Obviously, last season we did have 3 loan players. We had Yusuf, our goalkeeper. We had Lowe, the striker. And we had Kamir in midfield. Now, I wanted to just get them all to come on loan. I just wanted to loan them all again because I thought all 3 of them were pretty good. And Lowe maybe would be a good backup striker. I'd rather get a better striker than him, but he'd still be good to bring him into the team. He did great in the playoffs as well. But we were able to bring in the midfielder. He was at his club. They gave him to us on loan. No wage or anything. He's completely free. Really good for us. He's a very good midfielder. I tried to keep Yusuf, but Yusuf, his contract ended at the end of that year. So in 2018, his contract ended. And so I couldn't get him back on loan. But he was on a free. So I went, yes, there we go. I could maybe bring him to the club and we can get him in here and then he can play for us as our proper goalkeeper for our team. But he says he doesn't think our ambition is big enough, if I remember correctly. So he will not sign for us. I was like, no! If only he was stayed at his other club, we could just got him on loan. But instead, he just won't come to our club. And the same thing with Lowe as well. Lowe as well, his contract ended and he won't sign a contract with us. So both of them we couldn't get. I'm going to see what happens. They're both still free. Maybe at the end of September, I might be able to bring them both in. Lowe, I'm not particularly bothered about, but I really want to get Yusuf in. He was a great goalkeeper for us. So I had to get anyone. Anyone and someone. And obviously, like I said to you before, the way I do my scouting is that I look at the transfer list and the loan list and the contracts that end. And then the only other ones I look at are the ones my scouts have brought in. So I have a very big short list of players. And Callum Kitschka, his contract ended, I think, with Cheltenham. He went on loan to Gloucester last season. He had an okay time in the North League. It wasn't great, though. And obviously, his average rating's not good. But he did play 2 games in League 2 and get 2 clean sheets. I don't think he's as bad as the Gloucester thing makes out. He might just had a really bad defence. His stats look okay. They don't look great, but they look okay. And we needed anyone. So right now, we got him for now. I want to bring in a better goalkeeper. I'm going to wait to see if Yusuf lowers his demands. Maybe one day we can get him. So the transfer season so far has not been great. I wanted a lot more players in. We still got 1,900 wage budget. There's still a lot more players I want to bring in. But I don't want to try and bring in just any players. Those 2 I had to get anyone, really, at the time. So those 2 I brought in because we needed anyone. I also almost got a couple of really good ones as well, which I'll talk about in a second. So to begin, we're going to look at what you can see I've been looking at when it comes to transfers. You can see here we've got goalkeepers. We need another goalkeeper. One that's better than our current goalkeeper, and he can be backup. You can see Yusuf. Yusuf. I need you back. You see his stats here actually look very similar to Callum. The stats make him look very similar to Callum, but they say he's a 4-star. So I'm not completely sure how that works out, but I think Callum will be okay, but I really want to get Yusuf. Look at this. 40 conceded goals in 42 games. That's pretty good. 13 clean sheets is not too bad either. So I really want to get him back. So that's the one I'm looking at the moment. Other than that, the only players we can get, we can't afford transfers. There's a couple of free young uns, but they're not good. They have potential maybe to become better in the future, but they're not good at all right now. So we need Yusuf. We have to get him. When it comes to strikers as well, I've been looking at a few things. You got Lowe here. He's also not on the contract. I do want to bring him in, but he won't sign yet. Hopefully, again, we can wait till September. Maybe he'll sign then. But I'd rather not wait that long. You've got Lucas Nemecha. I've scouted him a bit for a while. I scouted him last year. Wanted to bring him to the team, but he will not relocate. But he looks pretty good young player. I think he came from Man City, yeah. So he could be a good one to bring in, but he won't sign for a club like us. Aaron Williams is another striker I've had an eye on at this time. He's got quite good strength, you know, jumping and whatnot. He's more of that kind of like heading, you know, strength striker, it looks like. Last year he was at Hampton and Richmond, the people we beat in the final. And he actually got quite a few goals, you know, 36 appearances. 16 goals is not too bad. He's scored in League 2. I mean, I guess that gives him a couple of points. So he didn't look too bad, but his wage is too high. We can't bring him in just yet, but he's willing to sign. So his wages might go down in the future. Other than that, I don't think... We're scouting this guy who is on loan. He's a loan possibility. There's a few other down here which I don't think are good enough. The only one I've been looking at is this guy. Jermaine Ofori. Now, his numbers don't look great. They don't look great. And obviously he's only a 2-star rating there thinking. But if you look at his history, look at that. 38 games, 23 goals, 14 assists. And then last season, 15 goals, 11 assists. That's pretty good. You know, Maidenhead they did okay that first season, not as good the second season, but he's not looking too bad as a striker. So he's a player I have been looking at as well. But I'm just not sure if he's good enough. That's my kind of concern here. So I'd rather get one of the other people above. There are some really good players like Dave Tarpe. He has been doing great in the League South the last 2 seasons. He won Player of the Season last season. But these guys, we just can't afford them. We can't afford to pay any transfer. We can't afford to lose any wage budget at the moment. There's probably a few more people. Oh, yes, there was one. Sam Gallagher. I mentioned Sam Gallagher last season as well. He played for Hampton and Richmond. He's a really good defender, actually. He always performs. I've seen him before. I remember I played as Hampton and Richmond before, and he was really good. You can see here, his stats are normally pretty good. I wanted to bring him in. He accepted an offer. It was a pretty good offer. It wasn't too much wage for a pretty good defender. We really need an extra centre back, really. And he can play left back, which can then reinforce ball. But sadly, because he's Australian, they wouldn't give him a work permit. And I was like, what? He already plays in England. He must have got a work permit before, but they won't give him a work permit. So I've not been able to sign him. That was a very disappointing one because he would completely solve our defensive choices. He's exactly the player we need. He can play centre-back and left-back, and he's good at both. So very disappointing there. Josh Leyland, a guy I've been looking at for a while, actually, as well. Played for Macclesfield in the National League, got a 6.92. So that's pretty good. He's played in this league before, and he's proven he can play here. He's a player I would like to bring in, but again, he won't sign for us. You know, these are big players. We've got a couple of smaller ones down here. Akin Odemeo. He doesn't look too bad, so he's one we might think about bringing in at the moment. He wouldn't cost too much. He used to play for Reading. He'd only cost, a few hundred wages. So he's not too bad. I'm thinking if we can't get Josh Leyland or Gallagher, if they won't, we definitely can't get them by the end of the month. I'm probably going to go for him or this guy, Jonathan Dinzea. You can see here he's got some pretty good stats when it comes to the basics, heading, marking, tackling. His mental is not so great. That's my biggest concern, though. He used to play for Tottenham. So he obviously, they obviously did think at one point he'd be pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather go with the other guy. He may not be as good as tackling and marking, but I think maybe we could trust him a bit more. Was there any other players? Midfield. Let's just go through each sort of place. There's a few pretty good ones down here. Some good young players that we'd have to pay for, which we can't get. Jan Holdak. He was a loan player, and I made an offer to loan him, and it would have cost us nothing. And so that would have been pretty good, because you can play midfield or attacking midfield. So then you can replace Sarpong sometimes if you want to go a bit more attacking. And he would have been pretty good for us, I think. He would have been a great player for our team. He's worth a lot of money. He was regarded to be pretty good. And when we made the loan offer, loads of other teams decided to also make that offer. I was very upset. And so instead he went to Barnet. Barnet in League 2. I mean, I can't really blame him for that. When I've been looking at players, I don't think there's any players that have been really shouting out. Sorensen looks pretty good, actually. He used to play for Stoke, but he won't sign a contract with us anyway. And none of the others I really like. So midfielders aren't looking so great. When it comes to attacking midfielders, was there any that really stood out? Not particularly. The only one we can get at the moment is this guy. I mean, we could get him as a backup. We do need one more winger, but he's just not good enough. But we could just get him as backup. A lot of the young players we got last year were not that great. And yeah, that's really it. So those are kind of the things you can see I've been looking at when it comes to the transfers and whatnot. Overall, our finances aren't looking great, but I'm hoping this season, because we're in the league above, we're going to get a lot more people come to the games. The attendance is going to be very important. We're going to keep checking that. Make sure we're getting lots of people come to the games, getting more money into the club. Dan Ball is going to stay as captain. Bill Murphy is going to stay as vice-captain. I'm now a favoured personnel, which is really nice. And so is Jack Batten, obviously, because he won Player of the Season last year. Yeah, here you go. Mazier Kuya, he came back on loan again, so that was a good one. That was probably one of the only few good things that happened in this transfer season. But the transfers are not over, remember. We still have a few more transfers that can go through and whatnot. So it's not all doom and gloom. But it looks like our finances are okay at the moment. Loves the club. Yeah, overall, it was okay. But I wish we could have got more. Today, they were going to play against Torquay. Torquay have not been doing so well in the league. They've been down in this league for a few seasons. Used to be up in League 1 in 2004 and 5. But they've gone and kind of got stuck in League 2. Then got relegated. They've been stuck in the Vanarama National League. Always around 17th, 18th. So this is a team that's normally quite low down. Their media prediction was 13th. But obviously for us, we're last. So I can't really say anything. Their key player, Brendan Moore, the goalkeeper. Yeah, he looks better than our goalkeeper. But let's go have a quick look at the teams so you guys can get an idea of what we're playing with this season. It's going to look very familiar at the moment, but I'm hoping we can change it as this month goes on. Hopefully by next month and the next part, you're going to see a little bit of difference in this team. At the moment, we've got Junior Morias up front. You can see the formation's different because a few of our players are injured. Brendan Kiernan and Ashton have both got injured. And so that means we were kind of running out of wingers. So I couldn't do my wingers up front, so I had to bring them back a little bit. So that's why you have this situation with our formation. Also, we are in a league above us now, so maybe playing a bit more defensive isn't too bad. But yeah, Frankie Artus is playing on the left. He's now back, obviously, from his injury. It has hurt him a bit. You can see his physical's gone down a bit and whatnot. So I don't know. He might not be the player he used to be. He always looked low on the current ability, but he might have taken too much from that long injury. But that's why I'm bringing him on. You know, we've got two players injured. He's got a chance to prove he can still play. If he can do well in this match, maybe we could still rely upon him, but I'm not sure if he can do it. But this would be a good test for him. If those two players weren't injured, he probably wouldn't even be getting a chance in the first team, to be honest. Billy Murphy in the midfield, of course. Kuya also there. Hunter over down on the wing as well. Then we got Sarpong back here. Dan Bull, Jack Batten, Hemmings, Aaron Barnes coming back from a really good first season last year, and Kishka. And Fleetwood is still here, as you can see. Fleetwood is still here because he just doesn't look too bad. He can still play. He had a good season last year, So I feel like it's good to just keep him around as a backup striker. I'd rather get another striker. We're definitely going to look to get one more striker. That's one thing we have to get. We have to get another goalkeeper. I'm going to get one more defender, preferably centre-back or left-back. And I want to get one more winger. So those are things at least I want to get. So that's a lot of things we need to get. And we don't have a massive wage. So yeah, hopefully things go okay. We're going to keep it standard. Because I want to see what this team can do at this level. Can we be competitive? Going to be a tough game. I think with the injuries, this is going to cause a problem because we're not playing in the formation that I like to play. And it's a bit less attacking. It's a bit too defensive. But, you know, injuries are going to happen. We don't have a big enough squad. We don't have a big enough group of players. This is why I need to do better in the transfers. Definitely not a good time, but I say. It's always hard to bring players in because, you know, the work permits and just the fact that our level and the professional level of our club is not great. They're going with 4-4-2. So, yeah. I'll have to wait and see what happens. This is going to be a big moment for our club. The Vanarama National League. A league full of professional clubs. A lot of them actually also semi-professional, but most of them I think are professional. So there's going to be a big test for the team and the club. Hopefully we can just make lots of money and stay up. That's what I want. As long as we stay up, I'm going to be happy this season. And as long as we make money, because we're getting more fans, hopefully, into the club. Those are the two things I want, and it'll be a good season. Show me what you can do at this level, guys. Billy Murphy, of course, motivated. We can always trust Billy. Did I have it on extended? Yeah, we still got an extended. So let's go back to key, because it's already been quite a long episode already. Fingers crossed, guys. The first game in the Vanarama National League. And so far, it's not looking too bad. They've got a bit more possession than us, but they're not getting any shots off. Okay, we brought the possession back. Obviously, it's only been 15 minutes, so you can't always take those statistics correctly. We're doing okay, actually. I'm pretty happy. We're getting a bit of control of the ball. We're getting shots on, but so are they. It could go either way right now. Hopefully, after half-time, we'll be able to see how many people have come to see the first game in this league. And if there's lots of people, we need to put a good performance, because we need to show them that they can keep coming to our games and enjoy their time, even in a league that's going to be pretty tough. Because look at that, 4 teams get relegated. Oh, that's going to be so tough. Encourage them, we can still win, yeah. Passionate. We can still win this match. There we go, the goalkeeper's looking good. Hopefully Kitschka has a good time. He's been on my track for quite a while, but he wouldn't go on loan to us last season. He went on loan to Gloucester instead. And that's why I got Yusuf, actually. I actually went for Callum first. So actually having Callum here is kind of interesting. No! No! Ah. And Torquay have scored. You know, it's a shame because we've been playing quite well this match. So I was kind of hoping for an opportunity here. I mean, I don't think we should change too much. Maybe we should bring on... No, Sarpong always stays on because there's not much we can really change for him right now. Not in that position, at least. I could just bring on another strike. I could bring on Fleetwood, I guess. That could be a point. I could just bring on Fleetwood. We can go for 4-4-2 because we're losing now at the moment anyway. So let's take off Sarpong. He's looking really tired. And let's bring on Fleetwood. Fleetwood, give it a go in the Vanarama National League. You advanced. See if you can play up at this level. Billy Murphy will come off for Kim. So we'll bring him on. Mazier, you'll go this for now. And Chaz, you're going to come off for Charlie Wasmer. Perfect. There we go. Let's see if the team can do it. We could go a bit more attacking, I guess. See if we can try and grab a goal. But obviously, goal difference could be big. Because I feel we're going to be low down in the league. But I'll take it. You know, Torquay are probably going to be quite low down in the league as well. So losing 2-0 might be quite bad for us. But getting a draw would be really good for us in the first game in this new league against a team that should be coming above us. But then again, every team should be coming above us. So it all makes things quite difficult to kind of get around that. Fleetwood could be in trouble. There's 15 minutes left, and there's been no highlights. We've not been getting as much of the ball. I think going attacking has maybe hurt our hold on the ball, but we seem to still be getting shots against them. 10 shots. 3 minutes left. It's over. There's no way we can come back. So a boring 1-0 loss for us. Not a good start to a new season in a new league. I feel like there's more people there in the stands. Not lots, but Maybe a few more. I bet it's going to be about the same. I should have checked, actually. I could have seen. I forgot to look. And a terrible pass there by Fleetwood. Not good enough at all. But he's not meant to come on. He's only there as backup. Okay, another terrible ball up. Guys, come on. You got to play with a bit more finesse. Oh, Morias could have stolen that there. Oh, we got it back. They're going to blow the whistle now. Yep, definitely going to blow the whistle. There we go. 1-0 to Torquay. Disappointing, yeah. Calm, not going to be as angry. Just be a bit like, come on, guys. You got to do better than this. You got to try harder. Wow, look at that. Attendance. 1,200 people in attendance. That is massive. Like, normally last season we get like 800, maybe 900. Obviously the average was over 1,000, but that was because we did quite well in the cup. But this is just a normal league game. We got 1,200. That was the same we got like in a league, in a cup game. So that's really good to see. That could mean we could be making bank this season, but we just have to stay up, really, as well. So there we go. First game, 1-0. Kishka makes his debut. He did okay, I'm guessing. You know, he did okay. You know, it was his first game, 1-0. They didn't have many shots, but the one goal they got, I'm not sure you could have blamed him. You know, it was one of those silly sort of situations. He didn't get a very good average rating, but it's just one goal. It wasn't two or anything like that. But yeah, we'll return it next time. Hopefully we'll have some better news. Hopefully we'll get some transfers in to try and make the team a bit better. Let's have a quick look at the fixtures. For this month, we probably have quite a few games. Tranmere, Eastleigh, Aldershot. Yeah, 3 games in. Probably a cup game at some point, I'm going to guess, maybe. And we'll be back next time with a match against Chester. Chester. The Blues. Huh. Could be not too bad a game. Their media prediction's 19th. So yeah, they're quite low down the list as well. So I hope you guys will return for that match. Hopefully we can put a smile on our fans' faces for that game. I really hope so. I'll see you then. It's gonna be a tough task, this one. It's gonna be a tough task.